Hi y'all. I know it's been a while, but I wanted to do a little video on our group ride from Sunday. I met with the Baggers and Brews crew, and probably about 70 people, I'm guessing, um, on a group ride. We started out in Hamilton at Fielder's Pub, and got some video of it. Let me show you it. Then after that, uh, we went to some other breweries. There was quite a few people, and I would say most of the people out there had, newer bikes. Where my Road King is 10 years old, it has low miles, and I got a good deal on it. But I will say that you notice quite the performance difference on a new bike. Being that my Road King is a 96 cubic inch, and everybody else is, from what I saw, a 107, a 114, something like that. There were two Road King CVOs, which Austin has one of them, and I know he's got a ton of work to it. And another guy had a black CVO with a lot of work and apes on it. Everything else, other than there were two Indian Challengers, there was a BMW there that I saw. Everything else was either Road Glide, Street Glide, or Ultra. We're ripping on these back roads, and you notice, you're getting past pretty handily by these newer bikes. It's a little, it's a little depressing, but, then again, I got my bike at such a good deal that, yeah, if I wanted to put, a lot more money into a new bike and then upgrade, the motor work, powertrain, that kind of stuff, sure, I could hang with them easily, but that's not my style. I enjoy what I have. I think some of the guys were on, performance baggers, and you could tell those guys were ripping. We were on these back roads probably doing, I don't know, 65, 70 on some of the long straights. And a couple of the guys, they were handling traffic control. They were basically blocking the intersections. And, all 60 of us would pass through the intersection because they were blocking cars, which was an awesome thing. Nothing more dangerous than having a whole group of bikers getting split up by cars that they're in a hurry to get to where they're going, and they feel that they have every right to hop in line and, cut bikers off and split them up, and, that is super dangerous. So anyway, so these guys would basically, they would be in the front of the pack, break off, block the intersections to allow all us to pass through, and then they would join us. So they would be in the back of the pack, and they decided that, they wanted to get back to the front for the next intersection. Fine, great. Well, the group is probably doing 65 or 70, I think, on the back roads. And a couple of these dudes blew by me like I was standing still. I mean, these guys are pretty serious about their bikes and their riding. And they blew by us all. They were passing everybody, which, that's their thing. But, these guys on these performance baggers, man, no joke, no joke. I got to finally meet, a lot of people that I follow. I mean, I've been following, like, Professional Monkey. I mean, he wasn't there, but I've been following him a year. Never met the man, but, I feel like I know him, and I've known him forever just because of his videos and the talk, and even his wife, Mrs. Monkey. She's one of my favorites. I tell my friends about her, and Mr. Monkey too. And never met him. Never been in the same place with him. But this weekend I got to meet DeBeard. I got to meet George. Austin was there. Who else was there? Bronco Ride was there. Brad the Biker was there. Corey was there. I mean, I see Corey in the side chats of all these other guys. And, him and I, we go back and forth. We talk about bikes, and just like the rest of the guys. And I finally got to meet him. I know he's a New England dude, and he traveled quite a bit to get down to this ride, which, hey, man, that's great. Who else? Droop. You know, I know he traveled probably, what, 9 hours or so to come down to the ride, and I think he stayed at George's. You got to give the guy credit, man. I mean, he's dedicated. You know, I know I see him in the side chats all the time. I talk to him a little bit, but you know, there's just so many people that you want to meet and talk to. You know, and you're focusing on the ride. You're focusing on, you know, showing off and doing cool things, and you know, showing people your bike and telling the stories. And it's just like, you know, I guess I think of it like a wedding. You know, when you go to a wedding, you want to talk to the people, meet the people, but you're there for the people that are, you know, that are getting married. It's the same idea. You know, Bronco Ride, I really like his channel. I think his videos are good. You know, he's got 3 cameras on his bike, you know, and what's really weird is, before I saw him, there was a Pan America there with Maryland plates, and I know he's from Maryland, and you know, in talking to him, I knew that he was going to, I asked him if he's going to bring the Pan America, and he said no, he's going to bring his road, his Street Glide Custom. And I said, you know, probably that would be the better bike, because all these dudes are, you know, not, I don't think, going to take the Pan America too, you know, too serious. But I saw a Pan America with Maryland plates. I'm like, that son of a gun brought the Pan America. I said, you know, how many other dudes from Maryland have that bike and that are going to show up on Baggers and Brews Ride? So then I saw him. I said, you know, did you bring the Pan? He's like, nope, that's not mine. I said, what do you mean it's not yours? He said, no, my Road Glide Special's right there. And we walked over to it. We were checking it out, and I'm like, that's just weird that there's some other dude from Maryland with a Pan America. And after I thought about it, I mean, I've seen his videos on his bike, and I know he's got hard bags, and this guy's bike, he doesn't have all the stuff that Bronco Ride has, so it makes sense that, you know, after I looked at it a minute, that I realized it really wasn't him. But it was just strange that there was another Pan America from Maryland at our ride, and it wasn't Bronco. You know, parked next to Bri the biker, talked to him, you know, a few minutes. Him and Bronco got a picture together in front of my bike. You know, I can see my helmet in the picture. I can see my blue saddlebags. That's one thing about having a bike that's not black. Is, I mean, my bike is on the lighter side of blue and vivid black, two-tone, and it sticks out. I mean, not to brag about my own bike, but it definitely is, you know, between the chrome and the color, it's not your everyday Harley, so it's easy to spot. And, you know, looking at all the people's different pictures, you know, Corey's looking at his, you know, his pictures, you know, my bike sticks out. Got a lot of compliments on it, you know, because, like I said, it's not just a black Harley. I did take my lowers off because, I mean, you know, when I washed the bike Friday, I was sweating buckets washing the bike. And I was like, how am I ever going to ride at 95-degree heat with jeans on and boots and lowers? So I took the windshield off, took the lowers off, and I mean, I was still dying. We all were. But, you know, it was an awesome time. You know, what's really funny is we show up to these breweries, and, you know, when we walk in, there's maybe half a dozen people in there, you know, having a couple beers, and, you know, there's like 1 or 2 waitresses or, you know, people running the joint, and we walk in and there's 60 or 70 of us, and we're all dying for water, dying for a drink, maybe something to eat, all at the same time. And that cracked me up because, you know, I assume Baggers and Brews, you know, called ahead, scheduled this, let them know, hey, look, we're coming. But they were overwhelmed, and, you know, thirsty, hungry bikers really didn't want to wait, although we did. You know, I'll be honest with you, we did. You know, and then, like I said, we just ripped to the next place, had some good beers. You know, I'm normally like a stout. I really like, you know, lager's my thing. I'm not an IPA guy. Lager's my thing. But, you know, had a couple stouts, and they were good. I mean, you know, by 3 or 4 o'clock, you're kind of beat. So, you know, I called it a day, said my goodbyes to everybody, told them, you know, ready for the next one next year. You know, I assume it's going to be bigger. And, you know, I know George and DeBeard are good at planning this stuff. I mean, their channel is great. You know, this was the first one, and look at all the people that showed up. I think there's a lot more people that showed up than they expected to, which is cool. You know, like I said, I finally got to meet some of these people. I've been watching their videos for a year. So I'm going to put some pictures up that I took, some other people took, and you know.
I don't know. Me and somebody, I'm split. I mean, like, you know, coming just back from the shower. But I'm like, you know.
I am going to Florida in middle of June, which is, I think June 18th is a Saturday. I've decided I'm going to take the auto train. I've been watching Cycle Fanatics, and I watched his auto train episode. I was really in the back of my mind thinking about doing Iron Butt, but you know, because I'm a dad and a husband and I work nights, and I couldn't get out there and ride as much as I want to. So I think it's better for me to take the train, and of course, you know, my friends and family that I really, you know, value their opinion, they suggested the same thing. I'm going to take the auto train. So from here, my house to the auto train, essentially there's two train stations. One, the northern one, is right outside of DC, and that's where I start. So my house to there is about 3 hours. They put your bike on this like big dolly, or I should say 2 bikes on this dolly, strap them down, and then they can tow and roll this dolly and lock it down on the train. So then you leave about dinner time. It's an overnight train trip. The next morning you get up, you know, whatever time, and the train rolls into the station. It's just outside of Orlando. Train rolls into the station 8 or 9, something like that. They unload the bikes and you're off. My uncle's house, you know, basically Google Maps is telling me it's about 3 hours. So I have a 3-hour ride up here to get to the train station, and then when I get to Orlando, it's another 3 hours. I mean, to say I'm not excited, I'm super excited. I am super pumped. It's going to be an awesome ride. Hopefully I'm not going to die from the heat, because it's going to be hot. You know, it's Florida. Right now, you know, it's mid-70s up here in Jersey. You know, obviously they have water, or I'll bring some water. You know, I can make a stop anywhere I want. The train has a dining car, and you know, and they serve drinks. So I'll have a few dozen beers, and it'll be a good time. I'm going to video my whole trip. I got to get better with my GoPro, but other than basic clothes, you know, obviously money, plastic, you know, credit card, that kind of stuff, is there anything that you have packed on your trip, or if you've taken a motorcycle trip, that is a necessity, or things that you've packed on a trip that you said, you know, like you never used? You know, it's like, man, why did I pack that? I'm limited on space, and I don't have, you know, I never used it. One thing I was thinking about buying is like a SPF, like a skin rash shirt, you know, that basically is long sleeve, and it's definitely lightweight. And I was thinking about getting one and wearing that on the rides, because, you know, I hate putting on sunscreen, but obviously, as you know, light as my skin is, I got to do something. So I was thinking about a skin rash shirt. Do any of you guys that ride wear those? You know, I'm going to be wearing jeans, you know, a t-shirt and a vest, and if I get one of these skin rash shirts, you know, I think that's a better idea. So let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.